So Ryan Bach, you're an alumni of Colorado College from '92 to '96, and you were one of their star goalies there. And you had a record of like 50 something and 20 something, if I recall correctly. Can you speak on the rival that you had with DU, since that's going on this weekend?
Yeah, back in '92 was my freshman year, and I think at the time you look at the two programs that were in a pretty good place. I mean, we had, on a competitive level, student body level, very similar schools, and I think, going into that, the gold pan was formed and a rivalry was built as we played that series throughout the 4 years that I was at CC.
And we all know that DU is pumping out a lot of great players too, but I mean, CC is pumping out great players on your end too. And you were a two-time All-American. You were drafted to in '96 to the NHL. And what other players were you playing with that were drafted in the NHL?
At the time it was Brian Swanson, Scott Swanson. Those are the Swanson, no relation, but those are two of the top premier players. We had the Jay McNeils and Chad Remicles that were also on our team at the time, but I think really from top to bottom we had a lot of parity and balance, and some good character leaders in that room. I think that propelled us to 3 WCHA titles from '92 through to '95, and then obviously heading into '96 was able to reach the ultimate pinnacle, which was a national championship game. Unfortunately, came up a little short to Michigan.
And you had mentioned that gosh, now I'm blanking. But the rivalry with DU, what stands out most to you about that? Like, is there any particular game in like 1 year that you specifically remember or anything like that?
Yeah, I do, and it was one of the years that I think it was in '95 when we won our third consecutive WCHA title. It was against DU. However, we didn't win the game. It was actually a tie and a title, and we were up in that game, and they just kept pushing. I think the game was in the old Broadmoor at the time, so that would have been probably our first season there. But it was something that, when both teams' programs hit the ice, you knew it was going to be a battle. You had the student bodies on both sides. We got to play at the old building at DU. Certainly, they've come a long way with their program as of late, and the players that they've been producing, the success that they've had.
And was there any particular plays that you specifically remember from that game?
It was just end-to-end. And one of the things I think that stands out the most is the physicality of the two. It was a war. I mean, once, it was a spirit of the competition, but both teams knew that was something at stake. It was the gold pan, and that was something that we wanted to make sure that we took care of going into those games.
And now Boston Buckberger, he's one of the defensemen for the DU Pioneers this year, was saying that he's never even seen the trophy, and was joking that about it just a couple days ago. You were able to lift it.
Yeah, well, it's through a few phases of the original trophy, which was a gold pan, and it was one that was used for actually gold mining, and it wasn't probably the most sturdy, so we had a lot of fun with it. I think for a couple of years there, when there were some creases in it from the celebrations we had with it after, but I can't get into those stories, but it certainly had some character, and it was a big part of the start of this tradition that it's here today.
And I hear there's a rumor that the original gold pan is somewhere in like British Columbia now.
And that may be the case. I know there was a point in time where it did go missing. I believe that was beyond after my time of tenure at CC. So it's certainly a well-respected trophy with the rivalry. That's, I think, being built to a highest level once again with the two programs, and CC doing a great job with their recruiting and their new building. So certainly something we'll look forward to down the road here.
Now, of course, a lot of trophies. I mean, no one can compare anything to the Stanley Cup. But when you guys won it, did you get to take it home at night, or did you? How'd you celebrate specifically when you won the trophy?
Yeah, because it's a 4-game set. So usually with DUCC, we would rotate. It wouldn't be 2 games there or 2 games in our building. It would be 1 and 1. So we got the rivalry going back and forth, and it was something that, again, that trophy was, we wanted it because we knew if we won it, you got to spend some time with it, and that's certainly what we were able to do. And I don't think that's changed today with the players and everyone competing for that trophy.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.